Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Okay, introduce myself. I'm Nurul Madinah, and in this video, we will talk about the aspect from Semantics and Pragmatics, the title about speech aid. Okay, I start the presentation today. Okay, guys. Every day, we use language not just to convey information, but to achieve things, whether it is making a promise, giving instruction, or expressing gratitude. This ability to use language as a tool for action, what we call a speech act. The theory of speech act was first introduced by J.L. Austin in his groundbreaking work How to Do Things with Words, and later expanded by John Searle. It provides a framework for analyzing the relationship between what we say, the meaning behind it, and the effect it has on others. Today we will explore the key components of speech act, its types, and its relevance to real-world communication. By the end of this presentation, you will gain insights into how to use language more effectively and interpret others' intention with greater precision. Let's begin by understanding what makes up a speech act. Speech act is the idea that language is not just about saying things, it is about doing things. When we speak, we don't only share information, we perform actions. For example, when someone say, I promise, they are not just making a statement, they are actively committing to something. And this concept was first introduced by philosopher G.L. Austin in his seminal work, How to Do Things with Words. Austin's ideas lay the foundation for understanding how language functions beyond its literal meaning. And later, his work was expanded by John Searle, who categorized different types of action that can be performed through language. The focus of speech act theory is the connection between that we say, the intention behind our words, and the impact those words have on others. It is a critical framework in pragmatics that help us analyze and improve communication in everyday life. Okay, there are three basic of speech act, and let's break it down into its three main components. There are locutionary act, illocutionary act, and perlocutionary act. These components work together to explain how language functions as an in action. Okay, the first component is the locutionary act, which refers to the literal utterance. The words that are spoken, this is the basic act of producing a sentence. For example, if I say, please close the door, the locutionary act is simply the act of saying this word. It is about the literal meaning of the statement without any additional interpretation. And the second component is the illocutionary act, which focuses on the intended meaning or purposes behind the utterance. When I say please close the door, I'm not just stating a fact or speaking random words. I'm making a request. And the illocutionary act reveals what the speaker intends to achieve through their words, such as asking, commanding, or promising. Okay, the last one is perlocutionary act, which is the effect or response that the utterance produces in the listener. Okay, continue with the same example. With the person I'm speaking to actually gets up and close the door. That's the perlocutionary act. It represents the impact or result of the utterance, whether intended or unintended. Okay, and this is three components, what is said, what is meant, and what effect it has illustrate the dynamic process of communication. By analyzing this aspect, we can better understand how language is used to convey intention and achieve action in various contexts. Okay, this is the five types of illocutionary act, which describe the various ways language can be used to perform different functions. Each type represents a distinct way of using words to convey meaning and achieve specific goals in communication. And the first type is representatives. These are statements that express fact, beliefs, and description of reality. When someone says it's raining heavily, they are committing to the truth of the statement. And representatives aim to convey information that the speaker believes to be true. Okay, the next there is directives. This involves trying to get the listener to do something, such as requests, comments, or suggestions. For example, please pass the book. It is a directive. The speaker is attempting to influence the listener behavior, asking them to take a specific action. Directives are common in everyday interaction, from polite request to firm instruction. Okay, the third there is a commissives, which are commitments to future action. These include promises, offers, or agreements. For instance, when someone says, I will come tomorrow, they are committing to a future action. And commissives are crucial in building trust and accountability in communication, as they show the speaker intention to follow through. The last one, we have a declaration. These are unique because they change the status or condition of a situation simple to the act speaking. A classic example is, I heard you pronounce your husband and wife. Declarations are often made by individuals in position of authority such as judge, officials, or religious figures, where the words themselves being about a new reality. And understanding these five types of illocutionary act help us recognize the variety of purposes behind our everyday language use. It shows how we can use words not only to share information but also to request, promise, express emotion, or even change situation entirely. Okay, now let's see how speech acts appear in our everyday lives. This example will help us connect to the theory to real world communication. Okay, first, think about a classroom setting. A teacher might say, open page 20. This is a classic example of a directive speech where the speaker here, the teacher is requesting or instructing the listener or student to make a specific action. The intention is clear and expected response is for students to follow the instruction by turning to page 20 in their books. And another example can be found in social situations, such as celebrating a birthday. When someone says happy birthday, it is an expressive speech act. Here the speaker is sharing their feelings of joy or goodwill toward the person celebrating their special day. It is not just about the words, it is about creating a positive connection and expressing care or happiness. And these examples demonstrate how speech acts are all around us, embedded in the way we interact. By understanding the purposes behind these acts, whether they are directives, expressive, or any other type, we can communicate more effectively and respond appropriately to others. And this ability to interpret and use speech act is also critical in multicultural or professional settings where small misunderstandings can lead to big miscommunication. Recognizing the understand behind words help us navigate this situation with clarity and confidence. Conclusion is speech act is a concept that helps us understand the powerful relationship between language and action. It shows us how words are not just tools for sharing information, but also for performing action, whether it is making a promise, giving a comment, or expressing gratitude. And by understanding speech act, we can become better communicators. We learn to express our intention more clearly and interpret other meanings more accurately. This is not only enhances our personal interactions, but also help us navigate complex situations, especially in multicultural or professional setting where clear communication is essential. Okay, I think enough the presentation from me. I beg your pardon me for my fault. And the last, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.